a common thing we've heard during this pandemic is we're all in this together.
Well, many of us are feeling a lot of the same things: isolation, fear, and cabin fever. Earlier today, we spoke with UW Health distinguished psychologist Shilagh Mirgain about some new ways to cope during this time.
Many people are feeling that cabin fever, feeling cooped up and stir crazy. And it's really important to manage this. Otherwise, our psychological health can start to wane. The first C is to focus on what you can control. There's a lot we can't control during COVID-19, but you can control practicing social distancing, washing your hands, not touching your face, engaging in social connection in a safe way. The second C is to create. Use your mind to create something that tends to ignite a spark of positivity in your life. Maybe you bake something, maybe you do some woodworking, maybe you do some arts and crafts with your kids at home. And the third C is to connect with nature. It's springtime in Wisconsin, so get outside, open up your windows, take a walk in a safe way. Really breathe in all the nature around you. That will boost your spirits and help you feel less stuck during this time.
Yeah, nature is often the best medicine, but things have been so stressful. I'm feeling very stressed and anxious.
It sort of builds up.
It does, and there's actually something to that. It's called the allostatic load. That's a term I've never heard about before. What is that, Shilagh?
Allostatic load refers to the accumulation of stress over time and the impact it has on us physically and psychologically. Allostatic load is in a sense the wear and tear on our body. And when you think about stress in our system, we get stressed, but then stress tends to dissipate. But during the pandemic, we're experiencing tiny and large stressors each and every day. For example, going to the grocery store can feel quite stressful. Even doing something as simple as taking a walk and having to avoid people, so you're social distancing. As a result, although physically we might not be working hard, our brain is having to work hard of navigating these stressors and adapting to a new normal. And our typical stress response, that fight or flight response, isn't adaptive during this time. We can't fight COVID-19 and we can't flee away from it. Instead, I really want to encourage viewers to practice another natural stress response, and that is called the tend and befriend response. This is more common in women, but men have it as well, and it's a way of staying stress resilient. The tend part of tend and befriend is to just tend yourself, do a little extra self-care, sleep a little longer, make some fresh food with natural vegetables that are growing right now. And the befriend is to reach out and befriend someone. Chit-chat with somebody at the grocery store, or say hello to your neighbor, or be of service and help. When we tend and befriend, it's one of the ways of keeping our system and our mind and our body resilient during this time.
And there's some collective grief going on here as well.
There is a lot of loss. There's a lot of loss of things that are no longer part of our normal, as well as there's some anticipatory grief around what's to come. It's the first time in our lifetime where we just don't know what the future holds. We can't plan for 4th of July because we don't know what the world is going to look like. As a result, it's very easy to get into doom and gloom thinking and start to catastrophize. And when we catastrophize like that, we tend to experience an increase in stress and a decrease in psychological well-being. So 2 strategies to deal with grief is, first, to really practice mindfulness. I really love this practice that I learned about, which is peace begins with me. It's a way of really grounding in the moment. And I do it quite simply, just touching my fingers together when I say the words. So peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. That tends to ground you in the moment and bring you back to the here and now, where you're safe, secure, and you can have well-being. The second is to really foster growth during this time. I like to think about the fire-activated seeds that only germinate when they're in a fire. And in a sense, this pandemic is our own virtual struggle and strife that can really allow some of our latent abilities, some of these latent qualities that are on the back burner to come online. So think about, instead of just being in that fear state or even learning state, to get into a growth state, thinking about how can I grow, how can I adapt, what new qualities can I bring online. In that, we really stay resilient and we can make the most out of this really challenging time and really move through that grief into a place of acceptance and meaning making, and really being some of the light out there in the world that is so needed at this time.
Great advice as
Great
usual.
strategies, too.
Shilagh, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Shilagh. Great to see you.
Thank you. You as well.
Good advice.
Yeah, lots to learn there.
What is it?
I'm going to be doing that. If you see me doing that at my desk, calming myself down.